A site and a medium of globalization. Tokyo, a global city. Tokyo has the largest metropolitan economy in the world. The Greater Tokyo area of 38 million people had a total GDP of $2 trillion in 2012. Tokyo is a major international finance center. It houses the headquarters of several of the world's largest investment banks and insurance companies, and serves as a hub for Japan's transportation, publishing, electronics, and broadcasting industries. Tokyo was rated by the Economist Intelligence Unit as the most expensive highest cost of living city in the world for 14 years in a row, ending in 2006. Tokyo emerged as a leading international financial center in the 1960s and has been described as one of the three command centers of the world economy. In the 2020 Global Financial Centers Index, Tokyo was ranked as having the fourth most competitive financial center in the world. The Toyosu Market in Tokyo is the largest wholesale fish and seafood market in the world since it opened on October 11, 2018. Tokyo's urban landscape consists mainly of modern and contemporary architecture. Older buildings seem to be scarce. Tokyo features many internationally famous forms of modern architecture, including Tokyo Tower and the new Tokyo Skytree, which is the tallest tower in both Japan and in the whole world. Foreign nationals were recorded as residents in Tokyo. The most common nationality was English, followed by American nationals and Chinese nationals. Other nationalities also lived in Tokyo, such as from South Korea, Vietnam, Nepal, Taiwan, India, Myanmar, Thailand, and of course, the Philippines. Public transportation within Tokyo is dominated by an extensive network of clean and efficient trains and subways, run by a variety of operators, with buses, monorails, and trams playing a secondary feeder role. There are up to 62 electric train lines and more than 900 train stations in Tokyo. Shibuya Crossing is the world's busiest pedestrian crossing, with circa 3,000 people crossing at a time. Rail is the primary mode of transportation in Tokyo, which is the most extensive urban railway network in the world, and an equally extensive network of surface lines. As the largest population center in Japan and the site of the country's largest broadcasters and studios, Tokyo is frequently the setting for many Japanese movies, television shows, animated series like anime, web comics, light novels, video games, and comic books like manga. Some Hollywood directors have turned to Tokyo as a backdrop for movies set in Japan. Post-war examples include Tokyo Joe, My Geisha, Tokyo Story, and the James Bond film You Only Live Twice. Recent examples include Kill Bill, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Lost in Translation, Babel, Inception, The Wolverine and Avengers Endgame. Contemporary British painter Karl Randar spent 10 years living in Tokyo as an artist, creating a body of work depicting the city's crowded streets and public spaces. Research and development in Japan and the Japanese space program are globally represented by several of Tokyo's medical and scientific facilities, which work in collaboration with many international institutions. Tokyo, Japan, one of the leading prime movers of global civilization.